One last point too. All the people who wanted Italy kicked out of the competition, you're wrong. And they just proved you're wrong. Let's kick Wales out now. We've had a bad day. They were going to might come last this year. We kick Wales out.
Well, if they lose 36 in a row, we'll have a conversation.
They haven't lost 36. If you do that, what are you going to do? What if Ireland have a bad run like they did in the 90s? It was very, it was silly thinking, short talking. And the Italians, to their credit, are fighting back. And I hope they keep fighting. And everyone wants Italy to fight back as long as it's not against them. Right? Everyone's quite happy that the Italians become competitive as long as it's not against us. If the Italians come in, you're going to Rome now, you've got a fight in your hands, and that's good. That's really good for the competition.
Well, that will be Ireland in round 3.
Yep.
Murrayfield round 4. Who knows where Scotland will be then? It could be crest of a wave or it could be back to same old Scotland. England come to Dublin in round 5. Who knows where they'll be? And then France next week already feels decisive. So that's how it's laid out for Ireland.
Yeah, it's set up very nicely for them. Having France at home, England on Paddy's Day, that's a box tick. You'd like to think if we get there, given the amount of emotion and everything that'll be on the line. Scotland now is one that we'll have to keep a very close eye on. Next week was always billed as the biggest one.
Yeah. Yes.
Last year's Grand Slam champions, World Cup favourites, coming to Dublin. Can we beat them at home in our own backyard? That's the box office game of the tournament for me.
Who wins that? Who wins at the Aviva next Saturday, I think will win the tournament. Whether it's a Grand Slam or not, that's a long way off. But whoever wins that, I think, is a long, long way to getting one hand on the trophy.
Last team to do back-to-back Grand Slams was France in 1998. Tough to do that for whatever reason, home advantage being
very, very hard.
What it is. Murrayfield's an interesting case for Ireland, if we get ahead of ourselves, in that the record there is very good, and yet it never feels overly comfortable.
Hasn't been comfortable. But again, I think this comes down to the inconsistency that we're talking about Scotland playing. We've got to remember 2 years ago, France away, England away. They won away from home and lost to Wales and Ireland at Murrayfield.
Yes. On England, do you anticipate much improved England coming to Dublin at the end of this championship, this block, or are they in a stickier place than we might think?
No, you'll see an improved England come the end of the tournament. You have to remember, Borthwick, Sinfield, Nick Evans, their attack coach, have had such little time, much like Gatland with Wales. So I can't see how you'll see, certainly from an attacking standpoint, a poor performance like that from England again. I do think they have too many good players. Marcus Smith is one of the up-and-coming players on the international stage. He hasn't quite hit his stride yet, but I think you will definitely see a different England when it comes to that last game.
I think that's an important point, that England have the quality of players within their squad to improve towards the end of the tournament. I'm not sure Wales do.
Wales don't. England, you're right. I just really am questioning how the amount of work that's got to be done on their attack. Wow, it's not like we've got to tweak a few things. Like if you're Kieran Crowley or something, we've got to tweak a few things to get the maximum out of that team.
Yeah,
England have got a million things to do. Like their attack yesterday, especially towards the end of the game where they're fighting to win, that was really poor.
And Gatland has to decide on the basis of yesterday. That really could be the end of that great generation. Maybe I do need to start regenerating now for a World Cup.
Yeah, but then the question is, what are the young guys?
Well,
what are you coming through? Supposedly, what are they like? So, is he prioritising, as we said, saving face for this Six Nations or building towards a World Cup? I think the issues run deeper than just on the field, as we've all seen in the lead up. So he's got one heck of a task to try and get that Welsh team in order.